are on the same page. In fact, the T side is where they can find a little bit of an edge, right? To relieve the pressure when they do go with the CT side. Huat, I know for sure, have a pretty decent T side on Inferno. I think most recently, if you look at them competing in FunSpark Ulti and a lot of different tournaments as well, like the 5 Arena Open, they have been doing pretty well on Inferno. There are certainly no walkovers on this map. Perhaps it's even Mirage. I feel that they're kind of weaker compared to the Inferno. So being stronger on your opponent's map compared to yours, that's something interesting. But it's a unique position that what I find themselves in, and the fact that Wicked Gaming win the 9th round means that they will be able to get the CT-sided start. First pistol round about to get underway. Round of 16, ROG Masters APAC 2021.
Was kicking things off. Wicked Gaming onto the CT side while Huat is gonna be on the T side. And it does seem like the way the Huat is going to be playing things out is slightly on a slower momentum spree, whereby they do have a good amount of players that's just gonna be spread out all over the map, with a couple of players right down onto second mid, one onto the foot of Banana, as well as two right onto middle. And I'm not exactly sure what they may be looking out for spills, but he's pretty confident at staying right at the T stairs, just hoping for the fact that Wicked Gaming starts to be a little bit more complacent and trying to get a rush down. But perhaps that is not going to be the case. It's more about the peaking game, as we do have the first one. They're just going to be traveling along carpets, not being able to find much information.
Yeah, you can see Moxie, he's trying to draw rotates. You're trying to keep the players on that A side, and now the rest of the teams will be making their way towards B. They found the perfect side, and with this kill, they have an empty B bomb side to head to. And Moxie right from behind, thank you very much, says as he kicks the pistol off with a kill of his own. The player selling the fake ends up getting one of his own. Boboson now pushing in towards construction, popping the head of Defaulter. Now it's 5-on-2. Wicked, they've been outcalled. The A gamble stack not working out for them.
Exactly, not the greatest start for the side of Wicked Gaming, and now understandably having the pistol round giving over to Huat, we can be in some sense sure that Wicked Gaming will be going for a eco for this round and trying to just go for a full buy on the next one. But in this very case, it's happening pretty often that we're looking at a small little curveball whereby they're just trying to go for a full buy, or rather just kind of force it.
Yeah, reason for that is even if they were to take the full eco, I think even if they go to the buy round, it's not that easy to pull off a round with limited utility on Inferno, right? Moxie is fast up, Banana, 2 kills, and he's suddenly warmed up in the system. Trying to sell that A-Fig now. Gets 2 entries on that B side, and Splashkey is standing his ground to fight as well, not afraid of losing the duel and losing the AK. But now thinks better of it, will run with his teammates. In fact, he's taken down as well, will pass it over, but he wants to go hunting. And Moxie, he's certainly feeling the groove today, starting to show up. Let's see, can he do the dance? 3 kills already, still on for the ace. Nope, Neff's stolen it.
Yep, with Neff taking a nice shot down on Filthy, the last one right onto Vietnam, only for himself to be completely compromised by Huat. That was a pretty clean sweep from the side of Huat, and I'm pretty sure that the confidence is now right through the roof. While Wicked Gaming, they have to take some time to think about what is the best way to play against Huat, because so far it is neither aggressive nor passive. Huat is constantly looking for valuable peaks, getting more information as to where the side of Wicked Gaming is. But the previous 2 rounds, the second round was a rather fast run, didn't go quite well, and this time they're trying to even go for a stack and pushing down mid, which doesn't seem to be pretty good because Splashkey easily, like a lawnmower, just mowing through the rest of the lineup there from Wicked Gaming, leaving Fired Up and AR7 to fend for themselves.
Yeah, once I gotta figure out that the B-bomb side is clear. It was pretty much the full eco though, so nothing too much to write home about. But the interesting thing is, Huat, they've started the game in pretty explosive manner, right? Slow pistol round, but with the moment the first bullet was fired, then everything just went in their favor. And if they're gonna keep this momentum, if they're gonna force Wicked Gaming to be in a very uncomfortable spot as they are at the moment, you can see that second round they force back in, and then Moxie just runs up Banana, kills 2 players. If that's gonna happen to you, on the side of Wicked Gaming, you're gonna be a little bit shit. No, the steal's not working out, and I think Huat, they're here to play today. They referenced their run back in the Singapore country qualifiers as a bit of a speed run. And that was the exact words they used when they managed to qualify. Are they gonna do the same here today?
A speed run. Not too sure if whether they will be able to go for a speed run, especially since this is the finals already. But things are looking pretty darn good for Huat, and maybe they will be able to clock in a new record. But it's still too early for us to say anything at this point of time, as Fire Dub immediately takes the head off of Flash Key right inside of Vietnam. Things are looking pretty darn good, actually, for Wicked Gaming, even though they had a pretty rough start. But with that all said and done, this momentum shift from Huat has to be changed. They can't go fast anymore. They gotta do something.
Fast though, and fast aggression coming up for the start of Wicked Gaming as well. 3 players pushing down to the bottom of Banana and backstabbing skills as well as Neff. And the opener from Fired Up is just a reminder to Splash Key, hey, you know, we're in the server as well. Right? Don't get ahead of yourself just yet, because Huatsai, they're unlikely to be able to recover this round unless Moxie pulls off something incredulous. But Bulbasaur with the Mac-10 is gonna have limited impact as well. Bomb's been dropped, and yeah, they spot out the player. Moxie trying to take a couple of kills. The minute's still left on the clock, but they're unlikely to reap too much from this. Bulbasaur now might just wanna get a couple of kills with the Mac-10, talking a little bit of cash.
Not good. Bulbasaur all alone to fend for himself as he hops around right onto Arch. Nothing that he can do at this point of time. There's just too many barrels that is just pointing right at him. And even on the worst side, the other side of the Arch is just a giant cannon. A cannon all the way firing from India. Wicked Gaming finally managed to get themselves 1 point for to their names, and definitely is trying to tell Huat that they are also a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, but at the same time, that round was kind of a bonus, right, for Huatsai. You can see Bulbasaur interested enough going back for the Mac-10. Might suggest a faster round. Splash Kid though with the AWP. Bulbasaur, we know he likes to take Banana, and more often he's very capable at doing it on his own. That's exactly what he's going to do. Just a Molotov to deny any sort of aggression, but it's a full Banana to come up with the CT. Splash Kid through the ashes, finds Fired Up, and that's going to be, you know, instantly, right? It's the instant reply, the double nade as well to top Banana. Nev, another kill, just like that. We're 15 seconds into the round, and so it's already 5 versus 2. Huatsai, a little bit angry. They're making no secret of the presence across the map. Look, they've got players on A, and they've got players trying to take Banana control.
Splashkey slowly makes his way right on through into A. No problems whatsoever, but kill switch actually coming in from an absolutely blindsided location and manages to get himself a single one off of Huatsai. So things are gonna get a little bit more expensive from Huatsai, but it shouldn't be too big of a problem until now, as Bulbasaur goes down to the ground with McGill's being the firing pin. But it shouldn't be too big a problem. Wicked Gaming will want to save it up as much as possible. No point yielding a free kills over to the side of Huatsai. But in the very event that Huatsai were to come into their crosshairs, I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't be too reluctant to fight back.
For both sides, 2 alive for Wicked Gaming. I think that's going to ensure at least comfortable rebuy. One player will have to take a second. No, I think in fact they should be able to drop over the weapons to ensure that all players have rifles for this round. Maybe a little bit of compromise in terms of utility, but that shouldn't be too difficult, right? Especially if Fired Up can find another opener. But it's already a tactical timeout being called by Wicked Gaming very early on here, not wanting to let Huatsai run away with the game. I kind of like that, but the fact is, timeouts here, it's a little bit different. Right? It's not the usual 30-second timeouts that you would see on a typical broadcast. It's a 2-minute timeout. That's where you have to ensure that your players are still a little bit warm, right? You don't want to come back into the timeout cold after discussing everything. Someone forgets something, and then the whole round just falls apart. But if you're in the chat right now, and you do have a certain team that you're supporting, you can't just leave it there as well. I'm sure there will be fans for both sides. Wicked Gaming bound to have their own allegiance fans as well, but equally on the other side, Huatsai, I think they've got quite the following, not just in their own country, but also in the region. One of the bigger teams.
Really loud following, if I dare say.
Yeah, really loud, and a lot of Moxie fans as well. That's something that I kind of found out during one of the broadcasts, that Moxie himself seems to have quite the fan base, and they've got a double upset as well. Huatsai starting to have a little bit of fun very early on. Yeah.
It seems like this round is gonna be off to a great start. Very likely we'll be looking at the great cannons of Singapore jumping right through, and of course just scoping right through mid as well as the entire length of banana. But understandably, from the way that Wicked Gaming has been playing, they've been tossing utilities pretty fast and early into the game. But this time, from the HUD that we can understand, the utility level for Wicked Gaming is not too high in this case. Not much smokes. In fact, there's only flashes and a single incendiary. So we can expect that Wicked Gaming very likely will be turtling around inside of the site, and I wouldn't be expecting Huat to be able to get any free easy kills off of their AWP.
They might just have to go for another time. Oh, it seems like someone's disconnected. They might just need a technical pause instead. Are they gonna play 4v5? Looks as though they are.
Not great. Not great.
Yeah, they're gonna use the second timeout, and yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, fired up is back. Might just have to restart the round though. Not really sure how the economy works, but maybe all's good on their side. But that means that it'll be another 2 minutes before we get the round underway, and Huat with the double op setup, I think they're gonna be looking for an entry at banana as well as in middle. I think Splash is gonna be holding T steps, and Bulbasaur he's always lurking around banana, right? So he should be responsible for that part of the map. Need to see fired up, not just best splash key in terms of the entry deals, but also choose them wisely, right? On the CT side of Inferno, there are a couple of ways that you might want to get an opener, right? You saw fired up best splash key out into its middle in round number 4, but immediately after that, splash key whips out an orb of his own and says, "You know what? Sit down." Yeah, giving him a reminder of the caliber and the name of splash key. But there's a lot of ways for Fire Up to switch things up as well. That's gonna be important if Wicked are to get a decent CT side, especially since it's their own map pick, right? You don't want to go down, you don't want to get blown out of the water, because if you do, then moving to an opponent's map pick, it's gonna be a lot worse. It's gonna be a world of hurt over there.
Considering the fact that Wicked Gaming hasn't really quite gotten themselves much CT wins, it is gonna be quite concerning. One thing's for sure, yes, I definitely would agree that in some sense, Huat terrorist positions are usually pretty darn strong. Like, I always observe that their terrorist sides is pretty aggressive. They're pretty strong on that very fact. But if they were to have such a great run in the early stages, being terrorists, that once they go for the rotation, going to the CT side is probably gonna be a piece of cake with the massive amount of momentum that they are able to bring into the table.
So we get the round back underway. 20 seconds countdown now. So just a reminder as well, Wicked Gaming against Huat. Both teams, the winners of the country qualifiers. So the team to bear the majority of the hopes and dreams of their respective regions. Let's see who'll come out on top. We will get back underway. Another buy round went to round number 6 now. Wicked Gaming need to respond back because this is the economy on its last legs. At least for now, they will have to take an eco if they were to lose this. And Bulbasaur responsible for middle. Aggression coming up banana as well. Splash key around the corner already. Finds the opener onto his opposite number. What do we say about this? Splash key again. Bessing fired up. So leading 2-1 in the battle of the ops now.
A lot more aggressive than I was originally expecting. I really thought that it's more about the turtling strat from both sides. Oh, it does seem like almost getting a wallbang through from banana, but there is just so much pressure, so much control going down from banana. But Nev jumping right in from boilers, and they managed to open up this entire side right from patio as well. Unfortunately, not much control onto pit itself, but it shouldn't be too big of a problem as we do have an easy kill from the side of Slashy. But well, this is pretty much a roll, right? If despite the fact that they only they lost 2 members, it shouldn't be too big of an issue at all.
It's not. It's not when you're winning rounds, and especially when you're winning rounds in the manner which Huat are being able to put up at the moment, right? Finding openers and then continuing with that same level of aggression across the board, not just at banana, not just on the B side, but also A as well. Neff, knowing that he can't play passive because he was the only player in apartments, waiting for Wicked Gaming to get a bit jittery, trying to spam through the smoke, and that's when he just caught the player without even realizing that he could have been potentially susceptible to the boiler angle. So now back to the down, back to the abyss. Those second mid fired up, unable to convert the frag, and Huat side, they're being a lot more pursuit about this, right? It's just against the pistol, so this is where you don't want to lose the round. This is where you can be a lot more methodical in your clearing of the map.
Easy kill from the side of Bulbasaur, clearing up banana just like that. Kill switch gonna be on the other end of this banana, trying to get an easy shot right down to the Bulbasaur, but he tries to go for a repick numerous times, which I'm kind of curious as to why he's doing that, to be honest. I mean, there's not much to lose, yes, with a Deagle, but I would have supposed that the manpower that Wicked Gaming has left could have been able to do something else a little bit different, such as going for a crossfire once this C4 is planted, just so that they can get cheaper kills through at the later end of this very specific game. But things are not looking good for Wicked Gaming. The bar has been put to the point that even a toddler can do a pull-up at this point in time.
Yeah, Huat side, they won it all. Not letting Defaulter even save the Kevlar, which means he will have to spend an additional $650 in cash, and also losing his Deagle as a handy sidearm, right? Perhaps he could have dropped that over to his teammate, right? Fired up with the AWP. Curious to see if Wicked Gaming go for double op setup. Yeah, and they do. Trying to put an end to the aggression, right? This is one of the solutions that you can throw, but Huat, I think they're gonna be equally prepared for this. A double op setup of their own. So let's see if you want to be laughing at the end of this round. So you'll see again another standard default. And fired up now, 2-2 in his duel against Splashkey. What can Huatsai do to recover the round?
Does seem like the eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, and an op for an op is essentially working for the side of Wicked Gaming. They do have a little bit of a manpower advantage against Huatsai, especially since that they actually had 3 men stacking down onto A. Unfortunately, kill switch going down, AR7 goes straight in for a refrag, but Bulbasaur puts an end to AR7 with a single shot of this AWP. Right through Magnum. Not much of a Magnum ice cream if you ask me, but Bulbasaur is just making his way downtown. He's safe and pretty happy right inside of A side, but he's still not convinced that he can put down the plant easily.
Yeah, he's trying to isolate the dudes. This is what you want to do in clutch, right? He's trying to find the play in towards Arch, but Defaulter with the flank from the apartment will spot out Bulbasaur, and unfortunately took a little bit too long to find the frag and eventually gets flanked. So Wicked Gaming able to find a second. But of course, I think at the same time, Bulbasaur was having a little bit of fun there, right? Having his fun with the AWP, changing out to the AK to find a kill, and then after that switching back to the AWP. So, yeah, Huatsai still not really into second gear at the moment. I think it's pretty obvious, right? The fact that Splashkey is just running out across middle like that, you normally know that there's gonna be an upper holding, but Splashkey, given the confidence that he has, will take the peak anyway. So this is where Huatsai might just want to temper the aggression a little bit. Gills up in the standard op spot will get naded down, but doesn't pay for it with his life. A lot of damage dealt though. Good flash, but fired up again. Another opener. So he's proving to be pretty handy when it comes to disregard. But can Wicked Gaming put the lead away once again? Moxie, the first casualty to hit the deck this round.
A 3-man stack once again from the side of Wicked Gaming. A little bit of a setup from the side of Huatsai, but they are still not that optimistic in going straight out for that. A smoke right in front of the fountains. Good flash indeed. They're going to be setting things up pretty nicely. Information overload for Huatsai. They're not very sure if whether they want to go in and, well, bomb the coys or not. Understandably, they should know that there's gonna be 2 in B and 2 in A.
Yeah,
but Spills, not Spills actually, Neff, is gonna be hanging right around onto Carpus, hoping that he will be able to get some good information as well as some simple, easy picks. There we go.
It's gonna start drawing rotates over from Wicked Gaming, but at the same time, once they're making the execute, Neff just opening up the A side by himself, walking out, no utility whatsoever. And now, because they had Banana, Bulbasaur is able to hold on to this part of the map, perhaps even getting the Falter. Not quite, but Huatsai, they're gonna be able to seal away the round once again. With the man disadvantage, converting that off the back of a perfect flash from Splashkey, enabling Neff to find a kill on the player who was out at lane, and then the rest of the team just making a lot of noise at Banana. You can see Bulbasaur, he was spamming through the smoke, Huatsai were throwing utilities, perhaps suggesting that hey, it's gonna be a B play, and look at the difference that made. Because of that, Fired Up actually rotated over from lane into Arch, trying to watch that long position, and that caused a little bit of a gap because there was a player boosted up in lane as well at Shadow. Right, Nav able to walk out long for free, tapping the side of the head of the AWPer and then winning his duel on the lane player as well. So very well out machine, and Huat are exploiting the gaps that are being presented to them at the moment. Wicked need to find a couple more solutions.
It is all about the positionings in the end. What I'm manipulating Wicked Gaming like dolls on strings, or puppets on strings rather. 2-7, and we are looking into round number 10 already. Huatsai has definitely got this game in the bag already, although it is still, like I said, a little bit too early for us to call that out. But the momentum that Huatsai has gotten for themselves is pretty apparent, and looking at the utilities from the side of Wicked Gaming, it is going to be a tough round for them to hold the as Huatsai opened up with a bang with frag grenades and the bang from the AWP. But unfortunately, not much came into fruition just yet, as Fired Up is the only Fired Up actually. Oh, it's Fired Up, not Fired Up. My God. But Fired Up, well, he's pretty much tagged all the way down to 18 HP. Not a great start, but definitely they should still be able to find more openings to fight back to Huatsai.
But we're still on the Mac 10 as well, right? You can see the boost up in Boiler might just catch Moxie off guard, but they think better of it and they're just gonna go for the straight up B execute, already making their way into the side. Now you can see the C1 smoke and the CT smoke being used to completely deny vision. Splash Key just burning Fired Up. The AWP just falls without the opportunity to fire a single bullet. And now Spills pushing his way in towards construction, winning the duel against Defaulter, and now they've got full CT control now. Even taking the fight onto McGill's and CT. Spills, he's trying to feed it. His brother opening up the round, and Brother Sinams as now they start creating havoc across the board. Look at how Huatsai are set up. They're like sharks now, trying to circle their prey. Wicked didn't do well to get out of this one.
Slowly makes his way, trying to get a little bit of a pre-firing action right into library, and they're pretty nasty. They want to get everything they want, every single piece of this pie. As AR7 hides himself right in the pit, gets one down onto balcony, but the rest of Huatsai, they are definitely gonna be dashing and running right into the face of the last play of AR7. But unfortunately, that is going to be another kill for the side of AR7. Free kills, but all in all, Huatsai still manages to get themselves the win. Alas, it is just a little bit more expensive. But it shouldn't be that big of an issue because the economy is looking very bolstered up.
Yeah, incredible. Splash Key still with 10k left in the bank after this purchase. And ooh, if you take a look at the screen at the moment, a bit of a teaser for you. There's a code word there. Do remember to use it come Sunday, but Bulbasaur now splash up. Open up, that a double no. Spills will be there to trade his teammate, and Splash Key with a third onto kill switch. Now Fired Up all alone on the side. Needs to stand his ground but for one, but of course Nav will be there to get the trade. One side you can see, right, just relying on the fundamentals. B rush, no problem. Why? Because these players, they have got the finesse and the possess. What's expected of them, and yeah, easy as you like when you have fundamentals and the aim.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate for the side of Wicked Gaming. So far, the games are just not working out for them. They've been getting small little peaks every now and then, and most of the time, the only reason why they're getting kills off of the side of Huatsai is really because of the fact that Huatsai is just trying to trample all over Wicked Gaming. They are throwing caution in the wind, trying to kill every single one of the members from the side of Wicked Gaming despite getting the C4 down. The bar is already that low, but they'll bring a shovel to it.
At the center you see, right, Wicked Gaming, there's a reason why the fundamentals are being tested. Bulbasaur here, fast up towards lane, will get opt by Fired Up. So again, it's another opener, but recurring, McGill's being flashed in by default. A good way to get another opener. Spills completely caught off guard. That's a pretty standard play, but given the momentum that Huatsai have had, it's no wonder that they let it get down a little bit. Kill switch down, this boost will catch Neff out as well, but there's a lot of tricks to deploy in one round. Right? You normally don't want to show your hand too early. And now Moxie with another Fired Up exploits the gap through the smoke. Gets another on the Splash Key as well. So now it's Moxie left onto the 1v3. Well, let's see if the X Factor is allowed to shine. We talked about him, and the impact that he brings to Huat, the latest edition, time to earn his stars.
1v3 gets one for himself. Unfortunately, I don't think that he realizes that Defaulter is behind. Manages to get that backstab in. Wasn't able to survive long enough in order to find himself the next other two. Not a lot of information is being tossed over to the side of Moxian, but 3-9. A not that great start for Cricket Gaming still, but there is still last 2 more rounds to go for them to claim back a little bit more points. And 5-9, well, is not the worst.
Yeah, I was thinking that was they did find the opener courtesy of Fired Up, right, onto Bulbasaur, who's out in the middle, and then they went to retake top banana with a pop flash, and then they had the boost up in boiler as well. For them personally, that's a lot of tricks to use for a round that you kind of won, right, especially when you went 5-3 up. And because of that, Huat they're gonna be a lot more cautious the next time they do take the apartments, and the next time they do take banana control. So maybe it would have been better to just fall off one of those antics, because you can reserve them for a later round, which gives you a better chance of chaining rounds together. Because at the moment, I think Huat now is going to be a lot more cautious. Spills right out and running through them incendiary grenades, and Defaulter now isolated on the side. Grenade has enough damage. Will take up Bulbasaur and Spills as well, and he hears the map go completely silent. And this is when Nav looks to make headway in towards this A side. AR7 though, holding on towards Carpet and McGill's. They want to find the kills, and Moxie caught with the grenade in his hand. Now it's time for Splash Key to step up. Let's see if we can roll back the years. Ooh. He wins.
That's gonna be the first. Yep, that's gonna be the first. They still got a big battle ahead as he slowly makes his way downtown, right? Lane to the wrongest timing and of course the wrongest place. But I believe that it was the C4 that pretty much has led him right into the boiler, if I am not wrong. But so far, Huat, they are I think they are just having all the fun that they have. Wicked Gaming has been showing quite a lot of their ace in their sleeves. I don't know how many aces that they have. Kind of interesting from them, but the way that they have been playing so far, it's been pretty good, getting himself peaks after peaks after peaks, while Huat has been a little bit more callous.
Yes, I can make aggression coming. So that's the next ace in the sleeve that we're talking about, right? Nav getting completely caught out, but they have got banana control at the expanse, and McGill's is running through the Molotov, trying to catch a bit of an off timing. Fired up there with a deep angle, will collect Moxie, and you know that that's the typical A play as well, which is why you can see Killswitch has pushed all the way up towards the apartments, towards T apartments, and there's 3 players waiting to receive the T's here on this B side. Can they break apart the crossfire? That's the biggest question right now. Flashes will go over, and Bulbasaur leading the troops in. They spot out Defaulter towards the 4th position where he's always played. But they need to find a way to isolate no Molotov to flush him out, and that means that they have to take the dry peaks one by one. Splash Kiddo is able to find a trade, and Defaulter still holding his own. AR7 now coming out to spot his teammate. Good fundamentals being displayed. Wicked Gaming starting to find a footing towards the end of the half. 5 rounds on the board, potentially a 6th. And Huat, the economy is broken in round number 15, so yeah, maybe they had a bit too much fun, but Wicked Gaming, it's been a decent recovery as well, it has to be said.
6-9 entering into T side. I really hope that Wicked Gaming is able to show a lot more cards, especially when they are on the side of on the side of terrorists. Because understandably, we still don't have a lot of information as to how they usually play on the T. Perhaps they will be better on the T as compared to the CTs. And Killswitch immediately runs right arm onto Romeo, gets himself to his name, and the rest of the side of Huat, they are definitely pincered. They're not too sure exactly where they're supposed to go, but most of them is just hiding along to the frontal side of mid and ensuring and probably leaning onto a push down to A, whereby Wicked Gaming, they definitely do have information that Huat is leaning onto this kind of push.
Yeah, they know where the pit player is, and Trisha exits to fire onto the side, fired up, trying to provide covering fire, and he will do so successfully. Last remaining player on the side will be Splashy, as he will meet his maker as well. So Wicked Gaming doing well to stabilize, all things considered. So we do head into the second half, but of course they are up against it, because this is the map pick, and the fact is, on the CT side, they've been able to only attain 6 rounds. It can be slightly T-sided though, so depending on the playbook that Wicked Gaming have in this map, but Huatsai certainly no pushovers. I have to say, I remember this round where Huatsai they were again force buying against the T's, right? And Nav he just went onto a scout, and normally especially he's the one with opening duties, right? But Nav he likes to take up a scope weapon every now and then. He had an incredible round. There was one moment where he was full white and he still no scope his opponent and McGill's, as if that would help his team. Not really going to be the case, and retake setup into its B, anticipating it's a similar setup from both sides in the pistol, right? We saw in Wicked Gaming leaning forward towards A at the start of the game, and now Huatsai doing the same, and it looks as though the end result might be just about similar as well. Bulbasaur trying to spot the player in towards Vietnam. With the kill though, there should be a lot of information, which is why he's beginning to rotate over, and now here's the B execute, but Huatsai they have no business staying around to fight. Nav, his duty is just to stay alive and wait for the rest of his teammates.
Quite a bit of respect that Huatsai is giving over to the side of Wicked Gaming. They prefer to play the retake game instead of... Oh! This timing! Oh, flashy! It's just going downtown! It's just heads after heads after heads. Bulbasaur doing the exact same thing as well. Huatsai, they are definitely not the kind of team that we should be looking down upon, and their timing is great. Never have I really seen headshots in pistol rounds consecutively at the same time.
Yeah, my god, Huatsai still feeling it after the first half, after the momentum kind of stifled a little bit, right? And this is what we're talking about. Nav picking up the scoped weaponry on that A side more often than not as well. So now Wicked Gaming, what did they decide to do off the back of it? They decided to force buy 4 Galeos and a Scout. Some might even argue that this is actually better than the buy that CTs have, right? If you look, pound for pound weaponry, the only compliment is that, Wicked Gaming, they've got a lot of show for it. Huatsai have got a lot, in fact. It's not a lot for Wicked Gaming. They only have 1 smoke now. Minute 30 on the clock. So it's a very early time to run out of utility.
Well, Huatsai's their utility game is definitely a lot stronger. They can just be willy-nilly tossing out random nades, and sometimes even the randomest nade will get them a really nice nick on the opponent's health pool, and that is going to be the story for Kill Switch once he goes down. But at this point of time, Wicked Gaming, they're still looking for small little opportunities, and it does seem like opportunities is just going to appear for itself as they manages to take racket control, trying to go down the side on the lane, fired up, literally fired up, getting himself 3. AR7 with another one right through inside of Library. He's gonna be left with Bulbasaur all alone as he watches down Speedway, hoping for the very fact that Wicked Gaming starts to play a little bit more, complacent and going out for a hunt, while Bulbasaur may get himself onto the C4, even for a ninja, provided the fact that he gets this kill down. But unfortunately, the information has now been provided by the rest of the Wicked Gaming players. Bulbasaur understands that he's in a bad spot, or maybe not. Getting himself with 2 easy kills, picked up a M4A4 to save it for another day. Expensive round for the side of Wicked Gaming. It could have been a 5 versus 1 scenario, but it became a 2 versus 1 because of the unfortunate implosion of Defaulter.
Yeah, but Wicked Gaming, they really shouldn't have won that round, right? Huatsai, they were the team that won the pistol. And yeah, just not letting it slip, but they will respond with the force buy of their own, right? Being able to get out 2 M4s, as well as a couple of Deagles as well. We all know how capable Huatsai are with those Deags. So definitely round not over yet, but Wicked Gaming, this will be a huge sigh of relief, and this is going to enable them to close the distance, especially if they win up against this force buy, because Huatsai will then have to go on to a hard eco, which means Wicked Gaming, winning this could put them onto 9, perhaps even 10 rounds on the board. Huatsai, little bit surprised, which explains the a lot more passive setup at the moment. But Wicked Gaming is the same, and I think there's a recurring pattern that we're gonna see from teams representing India. Yesterday we were looking at Headshot Esports. They were just very slow, very methodical. They had the same default over and over again. But the key of the fact, the matter of the fact is that it worked. Right now, Wicked Gaming, let's see if they have the same discipline and the same procedures in terms of going around the map step by step, taking off its checklist, and now they're going to take top mid control. brackets will be taken. But 3 players towards the A side still, making it look like a very simple A execute.
It does seem like it may be just a simple execute with a nice smoke right through onto Arch. Molotov right into library. Not exactly the best one, as if everyone else is just going to be wrapping around from Arch and into the side, it is going to be an easy kill coming from Spills. Like I said, they should not be Molotoving the side of library. It is a free kill for side of one side. And kill switch is gonna go down. AR7, the last man remaining with a sliver of health, only for his... Oh! It does seem like the narrative has been flipped upside down.
Yeah, but there's no time. You have to see. Wicked Gaming. I think a little bit of miscommunication. You could see there was a smoke over for the long position, this motor position which Bulbasaur's at right now. And then what they proceeded to do after that is they wanted to full on wrap A. Right? I think the latter idea was the right one, considering you had all 5 players invested towards the A side. But the smoke at long kind of cut the rest of the players off from the attack. Right? What happened afterwards is the fact that they had to push through the smoke, which meant that, you could see they took a little bit of time. They hesitated just a little bit, and that allowed Spills to get into library and get the 2 headshots, which proved to be the turning point of round number 18. So despite winning the force by Wicked Gaming, they dropped the ball on that one. Huat able to respond in kind.
Back to the grind as Wicked Gaming start things off a little bit slower on their end. Huat throwing all kinds of utilities that they have, ensuring that they still get their own bracket control and perhaps a little bit of a control down on the side of Banana. But one thing I'm rather curious about, or rather surprised about, is the fact that Wicked Gaming as well as Huat, they are not really too invested in getting the entire Banana control. Huat is putting quite a bit of respect for themselves, going on with a crossfire from first as well as CT, ensuring that they are always getting that crossfire instead of, putting themselves on the opponent's crosshairs by playing too deep into Banana.
Yes, now coming in, and Bulbasaur and Spills locking it down, as Bulbasaur will find 3 frags to pat the stats a little bit and to just take apart this, what was supposed to be a very standard B execute. Right? They tried to catch the timing, but Huat they were prepared. You could see the smoke being dropped, forcing the Wicked Gaming players to come through grey screen, and both players playing up close and personal, right? Not, it wasn't the fact that one player was at the back side, the other one was in CT. Both players decided, let's just take the fights together, and they won it all. Spills, fortunately, was the casualty of the round, but Huat able to extend their legs just a little bit with the 5-round advantage right now, and that's going to force Wicked Gaming back down. Just pistols, and Nav, look at the confidence on this guy at the moment, taking the fight against the Deagle with the USP, and Bulbasaur's here, back his teammate out as well, pushing down Banana. Now Nav will just be sent in to farm a little repair with the MP9. Oh. That's exactly what he'll do. Last remaining player fired out, coming in towards the steps again. We're able to find Bulbasaur, but not going to be able to retrieve the M4, so no impact, all things considered.
Not yet, at least. He's not going to do too much, but there's really nothing much that he could do. He did manage to get a kill down onto the side of Nev, though, so props to him. Getting 2 kills with a Glock in this kind of a speed fire round, it has got to be one of the toughest things to do, but considering the fact that they are now 7-13, they can't play a game like that anymore. No more Glocks, no more eco whatsoever. They need to start considering their economy, considering how they're supposed to win against Huat, because if they don't win this round, things are definitely going to get a lot more uglier, as Huat is probably going to get a lot more aggressive, and things are definitely going to take a bigger turn for worse.
Yeah, so right now, they have to get out the rifles once again, and this round, a lot of it, the result of it hinges, a lot of it, you have a huge repercussion on how the game goes, right? But will find the opener onto Spills, and that's going to be a huge scalp to find on that T side. The opener they need it, but is it the opener that catapults them to a round victory? Kill switch now in the balcony will Mesh pre-fire. Moxie jumps out into lane. Smashkey though with the AWP. Let's see if we can dial back the years. No, there's likely to be a second player there, which is likely drops incendiary, and the defenses are very split up at the moment for Huat. But Wicked Gaming very scared as well. Not accelerating off the back of any information. Just scooping up, turtling up. But you can see that has allowed Nav to get up at banana, and he's got a lot of information. If he decides to pick this, even without, he has a lot of information. He can call that it's clear, he can call that there's no pressure being put on him, there's no one up the top of banana. That's allowed Bulbasaur to cheat on that rotate towards that A side. But even if they do, if in fact when they do decide to hit A, Splash is gonna have a lot on his plate.
He's playing in pit with an AWP. It's definitely not gonna be an easy take for the side of Wicked Gaming unless the timing is impeccable, such as this very instance, where Defaulter coming in from the balcony did manage to get himself a pretty good kill right onto Splash before any damage is taken onto the side of Wicked Gaming. And Bulbasaur taken right through the smoke is definitely not gonna be the greatest feeling as well. With Nav being the last man remaining, he's got to get himself in a nice and snugly position, ensuring that he don't go down, or maybe get himself a couple of free kills as well. Chucking a nade right through, didn't manage to land, but his shots sure did. As fired up, goes down to the ground, as dead as a doornail. But AR7 picks himself up with a pretty nice AWP and finishes the round off with a nice shot through the chest onto Nav.
Very awkward economic situation for Huat side. You can see Moxie, Spills with good amounts of money in the bank, but Nav, Bulbasaur, and Splashkey, not too much left. And in fact, they're gonna opt to go in with a half buy. Scout on Nav, that's probably going to be the style of the round if Huat side are going to find it. But at the same time, right? Bulbasaur, Moxie, Splashkey on Deagles, I wouldn't want to go up against that. Nav's gonna take the drive pick up towards middle, and this is what we talked about. Winning the duel against the Oppa on the opposite side. Smacks fired up back down to the ground and Spills with another. Now it's 5 on 3 already for Huat side. They want to accelerate off this information. Going fast down banana, they call it clear. And Nav just holding his zone. Another tag on the kill switch. This is looking incredibly undoable now for that T side. It's not looking good at all.
Not at all. This is relatively sad for Wicked Gaming. Huat side understands the fact that they do have the man advantage. There's really not much of a point for them to be overly aggressive. All they gotta do is hold their ground, hold their position, and just scout out the area, pick up information, understanding where Wicked Gaming is going to hammer on. Because the way that Huat side has decided to gamble on is to put more man right down to A. But unfortunately, Wicked Gaming, I think that they've got a little bit of an idea where the most of the rotation is, whereby there's only one man inside of B. AR7 has got information. With smokes and flashes being tossed right out, Huat side, we do have Spills all alone with the Deagle as he tries to connect the dots onto the heads. But it doesn't seem like things are working too well for him. But fortunately, the rotation coming in from Huat side is coming in pretty darn fast. As Moxie around the area, Nav rocking onto that scout as well. Did not quite see much progress, unfortunately. But Bulbasaur finds himself too. Maybe able to get himself the third one. But Nav flicks right on the kill switch. And it is instead going to be a death switch.
Well, we talked about it. And boy, does he deliver a Nav. With a couple of huge kills and attack as well onto the player that walked up in middle, right? The scout can be such a cruel mistress, but if you manage to tame the beast, it can be, a great weapon, right? Sometimes, even perhaps, the fact it's more mobile than the AWP, right, gives you the opportunity to be a lot more unpredictable and be a lot faster in your peaks. And now there's responding aggression of their own Moxie. No split at all. He's gonna take the dry peak, and he's got a lot of health. Kill switch though, in towards the apartments, will drop Nav, and now Spills will be there to back up his teammate Splashkey as well. So Huat side with straight out aggression, combat Wicked Gaming, and Moxie knows there's a play in towards carpet as well. Kill switch, what does he opt to do? What can you even do? Because Splashkey is there for trade. McGill's AS Banana will find a kill onto Bulbasaur, but the bombs out in towards middle. Splashes himself in, needs to win the duel. Oh, one tap onto Spills and knows where Splashkey is as well.
The dead bodies though.
Yeah. Sandry on the bomb. It's gonna deny the player from getting there. Splashkey, ooh, gets spotted again.
Changing up his position. Get himself closer. And immediately finds McGill's. Right down another one into the bag. We are now on to the match point. Huat side is just rolling in the deep and is definitely not gonna be giving up this game, at least for the side of Wicked Gaming. Never gonna give it up. Never gonna let them down as well.
Yeah, not letting the fans down. You can see a couple of fans in the chat as well, right? You can see a lot of teams that played in the Singapore qualifiers as well, and Dreamy, part of Random 5, will be playing later as well, right? In the chat as well. You can see Clem, who was part of Tape Gang in the SG qualifiers. But apart from that, Huat side now, they know they've got their opponents right where they want them. And all they need to do is just close it out, right? No need to overcomplicate matters, no need to overextend now. You know you've got the weapons advantage, just straight together, play together, just win together. As they find yet another opener. And look at how low some of these remaining players are. Defaulted down to 22, close down to 44 as well. Fired up. Only good for one, but Bulbasaur's here. He wants to close out the game, he wants the kills, and boy will he get it. Down at Banana. 16-8 for Huat as they take away map number 1. Take the lead in the series.
Absolutely delivered the best. Huat manages to clutch out the game. Not really clutch out, but rather close out the game. I think with only 8 points given away to the side of